Genghis Khan, from nomad to world conqueror. Around 1162 AD, a boy was born in the cold and harsh grasslands of Mongolia. He was named Temüjin. No one could have imagined that this boy would grow up to become one of history's most fearsome and greatest conquerors. The man the world would know as Genghis Khan, the great Khan of the Mongol Empire. Temüjin's childhood was filled with struggles. His father, Yesuge, was a Mongol chieftain. But when Temüjin was still young, his father was poisoned and killed. After his father's death, the tribe abandoned Temüjin and his family. His mother, Holin, kept her children alive by foraging for wild fruits, roots, and fish in the forests. Hunger, humiliation, and insecurity hardened Temüjin at a very young age. In his youth, Temüjin had to kill his own half-brother, an event that marked his first major moral conflict. But in Mongol society, power and leadership transcended emotions. Temüjin gradually began to gather around him other marginalized and outcast individuals. He believed in leadership based on merit, not birth, a belief that set him apart from other chieftains. Temüjin formed an alliance with his old friend Jamuka, but over time their paths diverged. Jamuka believed in the traditional aristocratic system, while Temüjin wanted to create a new system based on equality and discipline. This difference eventually escalated into a fierce war. After many years of conflict, Temüjin emerged victorious, and in 1206 AD, he was declared the leader of all the Mongol tribes. At that same assembly, he received his new name, Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. After becoming Khan, Genghis Khan completely transformed Mongol society. He established strict but clear laws known as the yasa. There were harsh punishments for theft, betrayal, and insubordination, but religious freedom, promotion based on merit, and the protection of soldiers' families were ensured. He created an army that was fast, organized, and highly disciplined. The Mongol army was unparalleled in horsemanship and archery. They could travel hundreds of kilometers a day and would often feign retreat in battle to lure the enemy into a trap. Genghis Khan won battles not only through brute force but also through strategy and psychological warfare. He often offered cities the chance to surrender. Those who complied received protection. Those who resisted faced terrible destruction. His first major campaign was against the Jin dynasty of China. After this, he turned his attention to Central Asia. The ruler of the Khwarezmian Empire insulted Mongol envoys and murdered merchants. This was a direct challenge to Genghis Khan. As a result, he launched a devastating invasion that reduced great cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Urgench to ashes. This campaign is considered one of the most brutal military campaigns in history. Although Genghis Khan is often viewed solely as a cruel conqueror, he also had another side. He secured the Silk Road, promoted trade, and patronized various cultures, scientists, and artisans. He integrated technologies from China, Persia, and Central Asia into the Mongol Empire. The postal system, maps, and administrative reforms were significant achievements of his rule. Genghis Khan was remarkably tolerant in religious matters. In his empire, Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, and shamanists could all practice their religions freely. He himself believed in the shamanistic tradition, but did not impose any single religion. Even in his final years, Genghis Khan continued to wage war. He died in 1227 AD during a campaign against the Western Xia dynasty. The cause of his death remains a mystery. According to his wishes, he was buried secretly so that no one could desecrate his tomb. It is said that everyone who attended his funeral was killed to keep the location a secret, although this is a subject of historical debate. After Genghis Khan's death, his empire was divided among his sons and grandsons, but the expansion continued. His descendants, such as Kublai Khan, established the Yuan dynasty in China. At its peak, the Mongol Empire was the largest contiguous land empire in the world, stretching from Asia to Europe. In history, Genghis Khan is a contradictory figure. On the one hand, he was a ruthless conqueror responsible for the deaths of millions. On the other hand, he was a visionary ruler who promoted law, trade, and cultural exchange. He is a symbol of how one man, rising from the most difficult circumstances, can change the course of the entire world. Even today, Genghis Khan is revered as a national hero in Mongolia. Statues, airports, and universities bear his name. He is not merely a historical figure, but an embodiment of willpower, leadership, and transformation. The story of Genghis Khan teaches us that power lies not only in the sword, but in organization, vision, and courage, and that the greatest figures in history often emerge from the most challenging paths.